All right, folks, we're back. Hello and welcome as we get into aLive versus Caliber. It's going to continue with random versus random tournament. It is a best of 5, and this time we're going to be playing on the North American server. Oh, I'm going to have to fix my mouse thing every time we come here because I play this damn game despite people assuming otherwise.
What do you play, Rifkin?
The best part of StarCraft.
What do you play?
Terran.
Yeah, exactly. The best part of StarCraft.
Alright, well, let's see what the races are here in just a sec. I gotta
Oh,
fix this, so annoying.
interesting.
More interesting is the clan decal.
Meow.
It's actually super adorable. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, first off, welcome back. Semifinals number 2 underway. It's a best of 5. Spawning in the bottom right side, we got the blue Terran player aLive.
And the top left, as the pink Zerg, he is Caliber.
Man, that is a symbol of hate in Caliber's decal. That is not okay.
Yo, I'm still confused as to what all went down with that shit in the presidential campaign.
Basically,
like,
old people
what's
don't
up?
understand memes is what it comes down to.
Well, yes, well, what else is new? But just exactly how it happened. The thing is, it was so funny, right? Is that
Well, hold up.
That
Before you get into
happens.
this, real quick, guys, this is aLive's off race, and this is Caliber's technical off race. Caliber technically plays Protoss, but plays all races very well. Anyways, go on.
And aLive knew that, by the way. But that there's so many extremely dumb things that are happening this presidential election.
The election itself is really dumb, dude.
That no one really, it's one of like a billion things, so it's not like the thing that defines the presidential election, you know? Like there's so many things. So it's something I don't even have to worry about. They won't put this one in the history books.
I
They
actually
put a
hope
bunch
they
of other
do.
ones, though.
I really hope my kid, well, God forbid I have kids, but I really hope that if I have a kid, is in school, hits high school, learning about the history of the world in 2016, and a rare Pepe is something that has to have an essay written about it, because it's a symbol of hate.
Okay, I almost guarantee you that there will have to be people writing about memes in high school in the future. Like, not even like necessarily in the future, probably happening right now, but like definitely in the future. I just don't know if specifically it'll be about presidential election one. But okay, so he went for an
Actually,
early
you know what? We're
pool.
both wrong. Because if this goes the way it is, there's not going to be a future.
Oh. Well, so, anyways. Caliber's going for roaches. Who expects roaches? You expect an early pool, you expect Banling Ling,
It's-
and that's what aLive's gonna be expecting until he sees them, and he's like, what the hell?
It's not even roaches, though. It's ravagers, which I find perplexing and odd. They look so dumb walking. I hate you guys.
They are little Kool-Aid man of horror.
Actually, I just watched Sausage Party, and these guys, if anyone's seen it, they totally walk like the douche does.
The douche. Is that I really hope it's not a douche.
It is very literally a
Oh,
douche.
God.
And he acts like a douchebag. Bro, a hole's a hole, am I right? Anyways, that comment aside, spine crawlers were made, and ravagers can, just like a bunker, chip away at these from far away. In fact, as we see,
it's
aLive has to
so
move it.
weird. Like okay, so aLive has 2 spine crawlers, which is always like a
fucking
credit to
cheese.
him and happening, but mass lings will outpower ravagers.
Well, they should, is the thing. But they won't until speed's done. Speed's now finishing up. Ravagers are going to die in the process of kiting these around. He's going to try and land a couple corrosive bombs for doing so, but this was something where I feel... Okay, he's going to tap out. It was one base. Like, it really had to succeed, or it was going to be absolutely fail. There's no question about it.
I wonder what situation that actually works, though. Like, he must have not realized... No, he would have seen the Overlord to know that it was a CPZ.
I think, no, so for me to think about this for a second, I don't think Caliber is by any means underestimating his opponent, but I think he is playing off the fact that, look, this is like a TvT. An unexperienced TvT player won't know how to deal with a Reaper Hellion dynamic, so an unexperienced DVZ player might not know how to deal with 3 Ravagers. It is just that weird, but... Because you gotta consider, if those 2 spines weren't made, like, borderline blindly, right? He's scouting, but if those 2 spine crawlers weren't made, those Ravagers waltz in, and speed is so far from finishing. Those spine crawlers did
actually don't think
exactly
that
what they
matters
needed
that
to.
much.
I actually do though, because the spine crawlers bought the time for speed to finish for that to not be too problematic. Like if you imagine, instead of being caught out in the open with the speedlings, those Ravages are in the mineral line. I think they trade out way more, and they've denied more mining, and they've done so much more for it. I'm not saying it's a strategy that would win Caliber the game, but I'm saying for certain it would have done more if the spine crawlers weren't there.
There's got to be some reason he did it, and maybe that's exactly how it goes down on his latter games. But I just can't see that actually happening, because he could have made slowlings that would have dealt with it if it was really that much of an emergency. And pulling drones and hitting with queens probably would have been enough too.
So I disagree entirely. I don't think slowlings could have done it. They can't keep up with the Ravagers. You would literally be able to kite those forever.
No, if they have to go into your base to get damage done, I think that slow lings would have been able to buy enough time with queens. Like, I don't think 3 Ravagers can actually kill that much. You think about what 3 Ravagers do to any other race, and it is just them staying outside, not doing very much, and slowly chipping away at buildings. Unless there's a Ling follow-up by Caliber, which I think would have been excellent. I really don't know how much it does. Oh, this is unlucky.
This is unlucky. Game number 2, he scores with his main race in the bottom right on that random roulette draw. It's aLive.
In the bottom left has the pink Terran. He is Caliber.
All right, and we forgot to do the whole sub shout out because we got actually Kingslayer 1602 is a brand new sub during the ad break. We also had Vulork hit us up with a 27-month long resub, and then M895C just resub for 12 months. And if you don't know, again, if you guys are subbed to the channel for 12 months or longer, you should absolutely shoot us a message so that we can send you a form to fill out to get some Part 2 faction going. But Caliber goes for a proxy, and he does it kind of inefficiently. In fact, I'd say very inefficiently in terms of like getting the SCVs over here in time to do this. I don't think it's so late that it screws him out of it, but this already just looks a bit messy before it gets going.
Well, I mean, a Reaper proxies can be good against any race, I guess.
I actually want to point out from my own shitty ladder experience, where I am in fact a terrible player, anytime I would get TvT against Masters and some of the low GMs, I would only go Proxy Reaper, because nothing I did in macro would ever keep up. But this would win me games like a good 50% of the time.
Sure,
so it is just like the dynamic of what these units are that can actually be quite scary.
I think that this is probably the best proxy to do in a random versus random tournament for sure. Proxy Reaper works against everyone.
To a degree,
There's still a question of how does aLive respond to this. Already, it's a little bit dangerous. He definitely needs to get a second Reaper, not a Reactor, which he should recognize right now. He's actually going to throw down the factory slightly before the Reactor and get a Marine after, in fact, which is, I mean, it basically produced something. 2 Reapers probably would have been better because you have twice the grenades, you know, even though they have like 4 times the grenades. But anything coming out of that barracks is better than doing nothing at all. And ideally, Caliber's Reapers spend some time in his command center. I don't know if aLive will have to cancel it, and that might be one of the things he can come back with if he does take SCV damage, but he might. Once aLive takes control over this ramp again, though, it'll be dangerous for
for Boner.
Caliber.
It'll be difficult for that Boner to get in there.
It will be. It'll be difficult for Caliber to get up the ramp, exactly like this. This went really well for aLive, in fact.
Yeah, this is almost as much of a failure as the Ravager thing, in my opinion. Like, he's not going to tap out right here, right now, but it's kind of at that point. You really have to snowball with the Reapers, and just like versus Zerg, like if you lose one Reaper early on to a Queen, same thing TvT. Like, okay, you're still coming in hard, and there's a bunker up, there's going to be a starport, there's going to be a Hellion to help with this. I mean, this command center gets lifted, and the main should be covered.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit himself. It's a bit awkward.
Well, it's healing fixing, right? So the interesting thing will be to see if Caliber just sticks on Reapers for a long time. He's already lost so many, though. Yeah, GG. Like, you don't lose any, and you get up to 12 Reapers. That shit's actually really obnoxious. Even if you haven't touched their units yet, because 12, 15 Reapers can take on 4 Marines, one Reaper, and 2 Hellions. And it's stupid, I tell you. But kept losing them.
Well, conventionally we would play an ad break after 2 games. However, just can't after 2 games like that. So we'll go to a 3rd game here. Might be the last one. I don't know, but it will be King Sejong Station. Again, Caliber. There was some question about this yesterday. We were trying to start whether he actually been walked over or not. There's some miscommunication with the admin. Caliber actually did get $10 for his 4th place placement in the qualifiers. That combined with the fact that he will get at least 120 here, has already made $130 from participating in the tournament. It's not too shabby.
Nice.
Again, super shoutouts, by the way, CK Walsh, for helping us divvy up the prize pool to all the way to 8th place. I mean, this is something that we can't normally afford to do, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Gotta give some Match Arena shoutouts to Alaska Winter 923. He donated $25 to the prize pool. Ace 1, Ace 2, Ace 1, Ace 2, BaseTradeTV better than SM Cartoons. I'm assuming that is Saturday morning and not Slave and Master.
Oh, it's like... What?
Thank you to Heatsink, who also donated $15 to the prize pool. You guys have been phenomenal at helping grow this to $1,245.
I have a story along the same lines.
If you have a story based off of me mentioning Slave and Master, this is a story that we absolutely need to hear. So,
okay.
please do.
Let's do the intros first.
No.
Okay, fine. It's not even that good of a story. But I was talking to a friend I hadn't seen in a long time, and
oh, friend, I don't care anymore. All right, spawning the top left side of the map. I'm sorry, no, go on.
This friend and the other friend that I hang out with usually are very open about such talk. So I was trying to explain a very famous, a rather infamous story about our experiences with a sub in Toronto. And I said the sub had taken us out to, like, our sub had taken us out to dinner, and my friend just looked at me, like, what? And I was like, wait,
sub
okay. What's so weird about this? And then my other friend had to explain to him, like a subscriber, like on YouTube,
right,
and they're like, oh, and I was like, I have never had this problem before, but now every single time I say our sub, I'm
tell you
so
what,
nervous.
It might not be so conventional, but I'm into Cool Whip and chains, you know what I'm saying? All right, guys, in the top left side of the map, he's off racing this time around. It's Protoss, it's blue, he's Korean, it's aLive.
In the bottom right, as the pink Zerg, he is Caliber, Slayer's boner, and usually plays random.
His clan tag, I just realized. How did he
yeah.
get that? How did nobody take 420 before him?
Okay, well, first, Caliber might have had that from the get-go, all right? Back when they introduced clans.
That's
He's been
what I'm
around
saying.
for some time.
Like, how did he? It's like us snatching up the caster clan on every server. Like, did he just log on and be like, ha ha, 420? Like, who owns the 69 clan?
That's a good question. I've never seen it.
Hail4, by the way, thank you for the 20-month resub. Says, out of my teens, does this mean I should be contemptuous to them? Damn kids ruining all the things. No, I think when you hit 20 and 21, you're still, you can go either way. You can either try to grow up too fast, or you can still play the I'm a teen card.
Well, I think what actually happens is that once you get out of once you're like the senior effect hits you in high school, you know, the one where you're like, well, I already did all my important stuff, so now I can just be lazy. I think you start judging the younger kids. Because I'm thinking about when I didn't, I guess, appreciate my peers, shall we say. And that was probably around that time. I was like, oh, these fresh young whippersnappers in their freshman year, they don't know what's coming to them. And when you get into college, you feel like so much more of an adult than when you were in high school. Isn't it amazing, actually, just this game you it up? How, like, a freshman to a senior in high school feels like the world of difference.
So actually, can we back this up for a second? Because America is literally the only country that uses those terms.
Well, freshman is, like it's said, like the first year of high school.
You
have 4 years in high school.
What grade is that?
9th.
There you go. That's how we
yes.
universally communicate to our audience, you American swine.
Well, the point is like whether it's like 3-year high school, 4-year high school, or whatever the words you use for it, you start high school, the eldest high school students look so adult, right? You're that person, and then you get into college, and the same thing happens.
So here's the thing. I'm with you on this. It's a weird perspective of growing up. But the thing for me that was always so weird is, like, I've been a pretty tall guy most of my life. I hit my growth spurt early, like, close to 6 feet for those who don't know. And that was the same with a lot of other guys I grew up with. And then in grade 8, we were all really tall guys. But I remember graduating in grade 12, looking at the grade 8 students going, man, y'all are like 5'5". Why is everybody so short?
Y'all so tiny.
It's like, literally babbies.
Yep. Well, all that aside, you know the one biggest complaint I have about education, I guess, the education system started in middle school, lasted forever. You need to learn cursive because they're gonna use it in high school. You need to learn cursive because they're gonna use it in college.
You know, the only people who grew up use cursive are doctors, and even then, like, who cares? Can't read the writing
so
anyways.
Confusing. Oh, this lyrical alive.
I agree. Cursive is a little bit silly.
No one uses it. Okay, I'll admit my handwriting should have been better.
It's not faster to write in cursive either. Like, if it was at least more efficient, I'd be like, yeah, I'm glad I learned cursive, but it's not.
It's not. It's not. I mean, I do wish my handwriting was better. It's just talking about handwriting in general, I suppose, but I'll live. People will live with looking at my handwriting. Anyway, we have a large one of Lings on the way for Caliber. He doesn't really droned up his third at all, and it does feel like a Ling Baneling all-in is +1 timing up well with it, and aLive might not expect something like this. His Oracle died, after all. Didn't really get a scout in the third base to be like, huh, there's no drones over there. It seems kind of late. And he just had no idea, so he's going to send, Resident Glaive Adepts across the map. Not even done quite yet. And this might turn into more of a base trade than either one of them wanted.
Well, the Adepts do get into that mineral line, and aLive is going to be going ham over here. Back at home, I think that a Photon Overcharge might just get it done versus Caliber, though. It's going to buy a lot of time. The SimCity comes down. Those 3 Adepts are not going to be easily killed. So this really comes down to how much does Caliber lose. And honestly, not much. I thought he didn't have a great drone count in the first place. He went for a macro hatch rate. There's a lot of question marks for this, but he did only lost 6 drones. For how many Adepts? That was 8 Adepts?
I'm not even sure how that happened, but you're right. That wasn't worth it by aLive, but it also wasn't worth it by Caliber. Those Lings really did not kill that pylon fast enough. And now aLive has 3 bases, and the third base is really well set up.
For me, it's a little bit weird too. I mean, first off, the +1 melee on Caliber is going to be huge. Like, okay, he's down in workers, but he's up in army. And he's up in army against a player which, if he gets a surround upon, will get annihilated because of that +1. And that macro hatchery being down, Caliber's going to have so much larva and so many links to work with that I think he's just looking to flood this game and try and brute force it down.
Yeah. By the way, I think aLive's Protoss might be his worst. His Terran is obviously great, and his Zerg seemed like really on point, but his Protoss actually seemed a little bit wonky, like his Oracle control, first of all. Could have just been one mistake, but then the Adepts not dealing as much damage as they seemingly should have. And then just constantly mistaking, warping in Adepts so they get surrounded by the Lings. Basically, he's not playing Protoss like a main Protoss, and that's to be expected. But I think, I'm going to just go ahead and say, I think it's his worst. He doesn't quite have that little bit of finesse, that makes this, I think, would be like an actually really easy hold for main Protosses after the first attack. Now it doesn't even matter anymore, I would say. aLive should have this on lockdown.
I don't know. I'm still 50-50 on this, right? Like, any engagement out in the open, Caliber's going to do amazing with. Like here, the whole army's been baited behind his own force fields, and now aLive stranded himself away from the natural. Had Caliber actually gotten in there, this would have been almost devastating, too devastating to clean up. Luckily, though, the force field was good. It bought some time. He's going to go back in for round 2 in the same situation. If this army gets surrounded, it's dead. Lings with +1, this many of them, without force fields to stop them, as you can see, they're just picking apart the Adepts.
And aLive's build order is really getting hurt by this too. Like, he has trouble spending his money because his gateways are later and he hasn't been warping in, I guess, as consistently as he should be. All these make me say that aLive probably doesn't practice Protoss as much, or hasn't in a while.
So I like the Roaches here, but not for Roaches, but the idea of Ravagers to break force fields I think will be hugely beneficial. Big shoutouts go to our man, Nightshade SC2, the 7-month resub.
Hello, hello. I went Lucio right there.
You totally did. I would not have. Oh man, nice.
So
can you go out as Lucio for Halloween?
That ain't right. Well, no.
I'm not saying do blackface. I mean like dress up as Lucio.
Be like Rifkin.
What's wrong with you? All right, Archon's on load over here, but the drones get pulled away, and Caliber once again doing a pretty good job to minimize the damage he's been taking. That being said, dealing with these Archons is going to be difficult.
Well, the Adepts are going to get caught by these actually 1/1 Lings now.
Ooh.
Get better.
Well, not just 1/1. 2/1 is +2 melee finishes up, and there's no armor upgrades on any of these Protoss units, so even the Archons getting surrounded will go down pretty quick.
Yeah. Again, aLive he's winning for sure, and he probably will win the game entirely. But there's a couple things definitely doing better. The War Person might just die here. God, it's so close.
No, the Zealots shredded the Lings. Feels bad. That's the nice thing, though, with that armor. Caliber at least isn't getting 2 shots, so he is maximizing the potential of these Lings. But even though he got that drone count up and he's been keeping so many of them alive, he's starting to really lose out on the army fight. And that's the one thing he had going for him. If this spawning pool possibly goes down, those +2 melee Lings that he's been so heavily investing in are going to disappear. He won't be able to make any more.
Oopsie. Go Roaches. Fortunately has no Ravagers. That certainly would have taken out the Warp Prism. This Queen is still unable to. Finally, everything is cleaned up and forced out, but aLive got so much damage done from this, and he got a 4th base behind it as well.
And he's going to stop the +2 armor. Oh, man.
Roaches, what are you doing? You got a job to do.
We got Rico's in chat joining us, by the way. This is why is aLive playing Protoss. Feels bad, man. Don't worry, guys. He hasn't abandoned the Terran Master Race. This is a random-only tournament for those who are just joining us. We've had 2 qualifiers leading into this main event here today, and the only rule to the tournament is everybody must play random. So no race picking whatsoever.
Well,
Can you not hit on Hail 4 right now, please?
No, that's not what I'm doing. Calm down. I literally have a friend that's like super freaking tall, and name's Haley, and I think she liked Mass Effect, so I'm just getting all suspicious now, man.
Hasn't Hail 4 been around for a very long time? Wouldn't that just be weird if they didn't tell you?
Be the super long con. Well, you know, we haven't talked since high school. Maybe she thought I hated her or something.
Sounds like you do if you haven't talked since high school. Damn, girl.
Yeah, that's not how you hate people. She was 4 years younger than me.
So she was a sophomore when you were out of high school?
Freshman. No, she's only 3 years. Sorry, sophomore. I was junior.
I don't understand American words. What's an inch? How do miles
Okay,
work?
freshman should be obvious. Senior.
Senior's
should
the
be
obvious
obvious.
one. I wouldn't say freshman.
And then if you know that junior and senior both exist, then that should be obvious. It's sophomore that you're like, where the fuck does that fit in?
See, junior sounds like it should be before freshman.
Actually, that's a good point. I'll give you that one.
Alright, Ling's gonna try and do this fight best they can, but as we can clearly see, especially with that supply count, this is aLive's game. And aLive's series as he takes the 3-0 and moves on to the grand finals of the tournament. We're going to have Korea versus Europe, so we got to go back to the European server. It's going to be the young, really young Clem up against the very old and not very old, excuse me, but the very experienced, the very experienced aLive. So it'll be a best of 7 grand finish. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. We got more when we get back.